Hello everyone. I am a defender of light. One of the people who protects you from the creatures that live among us. Today I will tell you about them. How many of them exist, what they do, and how to deal with them. Let's start with the easiest and safest type of monster. They are called hypnotists. Their name speaks for itself. Are you familiar with that feeling when, for no reason, your gaze just gets stuck on something? Well, that's their doing. You don't see them, nobody sees them, but you can only notice them. There are only very rare individuals who can see them. And they made a drawing of what they look like. And we made a more realistic version. For the most part, hypnotists are harmless. Except for one very rare one. His name cannot be pronounced, but I'll put it this way: when you become fixated on him, you then want to kick the bucket. To deal with him, I suggest simply noticing in time that your gaze is stuck on something and simply looking away. And now question. Do you remember Tokyo Ghoul? What if I told you that what is shown there is partially true? Yes, ghouls also live among us, although mostly in East Asia. There are practically none in Europe. So few. They know that there are very few of them. They simply save their lives, so they don't go out among people. We, the defenders of light, also have an agreement of assistance with them. And if they break it, then death. So don't worry about them. Let's move on to something very interesting. Sleep demons. Many people encounter them, some of whom are good, others the opposite. You know what? The most interesting thing I'll tell you about them is that people often think that sleep demons only come to very bad boys. But in reality, that doesn't matter, because they only come to those who are afraid of them. Because they, like all demons, feed not only physically, but also on emotions, in this case fear. That's why almost no one sees them now. Because no one is afraid of Sukubi. Everyone loves and desires them. And incubi are the same thing, only they are male. And now there will be a very strange, but necessary topic. I will talk about slime creatures. This is actually a real organism, and you can find it in the forest. But in reality, there are some that are much larger. They are very difficult to find because they hide underground. And when they hear the sounds of digging, they quickly leave. They may leave some remains. But if they find someone, they can do something very bad. They absorb everything that falls into them and dissolve it. But if they want to, they can do something else. To deal with them, you need to press on the main organism. It will explode. But this is only temporary, because they are capable of regeneration. Almost immortal. The only way to completely destroy them is to douse them with gasoline and burn them. And now we move on to the most interesting part. To demons and monsters. I decided to separate demons from ordinary demons because of the difference in strength. Demons are much stronger. It is because of them that the stones of light were placed, which divide the world into two parts, where we are in one and they are in the other. But according to the books, when the power of the stone of light fades, some of the demons have made their way into this world. That's why I recorded this video. One of the strongest demons is Ranov. This is the Marquis, who commands 20 legions of demons. He is a demon with vague outlines, holding a strip in his hand. It is also believed that he collects the souls of people and animals that have died. There is also the long-armed one, the trash that you felt or even saw under the bed. He is capable of doing much more than you imagine. He can drag you into another reality. The one in which all the demons reside. Although it's difficult, you can deal with him. You can put a knife on the table next to the bed. If he suddenly grabs your leg, cut off his hands. No hands, no candy. The demon of darkness. He mainly appears as a black fog, in which there are all sorts of hands that hit you against the walls. But actually, he might even show up himself. There have been cases where he's been seen, and after that, everyone ran away. A concert by the band Leningrad. He was performing somewhere, and the lights went out for a while. They saw something so terrifying that when the lights came back on, they all ran away. It was him they saw. It seems logical to deal with it by simply not going to abandoned places. Or, as the group did, just run away if you happen to see one. It's better not to fight it, you simply won't win. Now, the Ozarks. They are located in Romania, specifically in Transylvania. These are the undead who, upon coming back to life, can transform into any animal. All they need is a whistle. To prevent a dead person from becoming a Ozark, you need to put garlic in their mouth. But if a Ozark has already appeared, it's not so bad, you can identify it by its strange gait. The animal will walk not as it should, but like a human. And if it's in a human body, you can recognize it by its gaze. It will be dead and emotionless. It lives in the fields and drinks the blood of those who stay there at night. And the Samarkas? These could be the consequences of the most dangerous hypnotists. You understand me. And finally, one of the most interesting, in my opinion, are the Kulturjishi. Women who make people laugh, lure them in, and kill them with their own laughter. A nightmarish sight. You can't deal with them. But at least you can be reassured that they live in Turkey. And a little bit around there. But in any case, I sometimes have to deal with them. Well, that's all for today. The rest of the tips for surviving monsters will be next week. I hope you don't get into trouble. Goodbye.